We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. 3 out. Danger here on the opening drive as they come up on the 3rd and 12. Now Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Isaiah Likely. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, this defense for the Commanders, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First down, here's the run with Cook. And some space here. And he's down into the red end zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have a look at it, 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up. Joseph connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And credit the tackle to Percy Butler.
With that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. They just do that every day. Put a ball ends up in the end zone. That's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. They'll run with Cook. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Dalvin Cook so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or 2 to punch this one in.
They try again with Cook. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go down as a loss of 5. And it brings up 3rd down. Now Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
The kick by Joseph is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of the tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw is on target to Likely. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. And even 50 receiving yards for him now in this first quarter alone, and also a first down. To throw is Wentz. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Wentz now on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles? It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Donald, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Well, you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards. They're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Throwing out left and finding Likely. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Wentz. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Commanders have retaken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into? Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of.
But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
Down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets him. Tyus Bowser putting him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Third and long for Cousins. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins throwing the out route incomplete. That's Campbell. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Cousins to throw it. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Joseph's got it. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. Now back to throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Up the middle, it's Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result of it.
Oh, it'll be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. A turnover is obviously, Charles, always costly, but, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing is Wentz. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win, and the defense stopped them.
Officially nothing on that with no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Right where this set of down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Here's Dorsett. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle. This is White. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
22 yards there, a first down. Into the red zone, Wentz. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Divine Diablo there to make the stop.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time to make sure you get in shape.
An incomplete pass on that last play. That means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And got his man. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. As this offense takes the field